Okay, ma John Anna
This here is old Puritan basket, old Chief Puritan basket. That's his pipe. So, and then this here was made by Marge's. She made it for us and over the weekend. I don't know how she worked so hard on it.
My great-grandmother.
Yeah.
My great-great-grandma, Mary Thomas.
So she
You know, for a while here before Rosanna died, I was telling, gee, there's 6 generations still alive here. There's Stephanie, the kids' mom, and
Sasha.
Audrey is Stephanie's mom.
Well, Sasha.
And I am Audrey's mom. And my mom, Rosanna, she died about a couple of months ago. And my grandmother, still alive. Yeah, Mary Thomas is my great-grandmother. We moved to be in the Alien Radium Hot Springs. Marie, in 1957. That's when I got married to Ox. I used to live in Salmon Arm on the Lower Reserve. My Gia brought us up, my old Gia, Adeline. And we moved to Tappan. We used to call her Mom, but she was my grandmother. Helen Andrews, Eileen, they called her. I first learned the language with my Gia, I guess. And me and my sister and my brother. Betty, she lives in Tappan, and Wally lives in Glen Eden. There was the 3 of us brought up by our old Gia, our great-great-grandmother. That was the only language we knew. We did not know English. All we just spoke Shuswap to each other, 3 of us, with Gia. And when I went to the school, I didn't know there was another language. I didn't know there was Sama language that they were trying to teach us.
When they took our culture away and our beliefs, you know, the missionaries, they tabooed the word love. You know, you were never allowed to, you were allowed to only love one person, that was God.
Tkalkukpi.
No, they didn't call it Tkalkukpi. We call ours Tkalkukpi. But the Sama called theirs God, the Lord. You know, they talk to as a person. Ours Tkalkukpi is a spirit.
The reason why we never ever taught our kids the language, like all my children here, that you know, at the Kamloops school we were whipped for speaking it. And if I said a Shukapm word to one of my kids, I'm looking around my back to see if somebody's going to slap me in the head or something about it. So, you know, I sort of created something like that I was afraid somebody was always going to hit me if I said my language. But now I don't care. Let them hit me. I talk to my kids, my grandchildren in the language. They're slowly learning a little bit of it, yeah?
Right now, I'm lucky that I retain some of my language. And I'm slowly picking more of it up now, you know, as time goes along. And hopefully I can be able to speak it a little more often, or if we ever find people within our communities who will speak it. If you learn the language, like, I consider Swapim more explanatory than the English language. You know, it has a better description of what you are talking about. It goes right down to the grassroots. It's not a statement. When you speak, it's put into an action. You know, when you speak your language there, you understand it more fully. You understand what is being said. Because I mean, a lot of issues when you talk about them there, when you talk about it in your language, it has more of a meaning to you. It gives you a more in-depth feeling of what is being said. You know, people say, well, it's a waste of time. What's a waste of, why are you wasting your time learning your language when it's pretty much dead? But in reality, we need our language. It's part of our culture. It's enjoyable listening to it. But yet, when you begin to understand it, you know what has been said is telling you also something, you know. It's telling you something that you should be doing or shouldn't be doing. You know, those things, that's one of the things about our Septakla, is always there is a lesson with it.
But it means a lot to me and my grandchildren and my great-grandchildren. We are still trying to speak it. Like whenever, like I sort of use, you know, physical things, like if I want them to pass me something, I always tell them, it's cuenta, you know, something like that, and they understand it then. That's how I'm trying to teach them. Do I have a word for microwave in SAGAcom? And I said, I was thinking, I didn't want to tell them no, so I just made up one. I told them, chachima, that's microwave. Yeah.
You're like when you're SAGAcom because you are a proud SAGAcom. You know, that's one of the things that we have to instill in our kids. Regardless of whether they're only part, like say, our family, a lot of our family is married to non-native, huh? So, but yet we teach these kids that they are part of us, and we don't just treat them good because we want to treat them good. Let them know that we are Talmud, you know. First, you have to learn the language. Like, our ancestors passed our language down from word of mouth and action. You know, it's not just the goal of preserving it. The goal should be there to be able to use it.
100 years after old Kinbasket passed away, we had a set of twins because old Pierre Kinbasket had a twin brother
by the name of Charlie, and they actually were both chiefs.
Yeah.
Charlie and Pierre became both chiefs, and 100 years later, these set of twins came into the Kinbasket family over here. So it's been over 100 years, and they're identical twins, so it's pretty neat.
Our language was preserved and understood, we would be further ahead.
Dachas?
Dachas
means that's it. Goodbye.
We don't want our languages to disappear. Our Shuswap language and all other languages that other people from all over, to learn their language and to teach the young ones, and that's very important for the schools now, like the school over here, they're starting to teach language again, which is really good. And this way they should learn from OE to, learn it when they're small, and it stays with you for life. But I would like to see the younger ones like learning from, even when they're little babies, you start speaking to them in Shuswap, and then they learn their language. Like when they're then they grow up and they'll speak their language. This way the language never disappears or dies away. To me, fire is most sacred. What does it mean to all people? Like my Uncle Dave used to carry fire, to put it in from one bush to another, grab the fire, put it there, and he'd run over to the other camp and put it on the fire. Because they had no matches at the time, so you'd use that sagebrush. That's where sagebrush came in as sacred, because it gave a beautiful scent. So fire and sage were together. So it gave, when you lit that, so you grabbed the sage and then you passed it around, from fire to fire, like from camp to camp. And so that's where my fire, I believe anyway. A fire lights you up. It makes you feel all human. And you forget something, and again you got that, I call it like a light bulb. You forget things, and it makes you remember, like a snap of a finger,